So you are once again welcome to grade 12 accountancy class. So last sessions we discussed about calls in arrears and calls in advance, the accounting treatment. How we are going to prepare the accounting treatment of calls in arrears and the calls in advance. Okay. So now today I am going to discuss one problem. Through that you can understand how the accounting treatment of calls in arrears and calls in advance. Now let's see one problem here. See here. The D is the calls in arrears and calls paid in advance. Okay. So the Karnataka Coal Limited with a registered capital of 5 lakhs. So this 5 lakhs is what? Nothing but this 5 lakhs is nothing but what? Authorized share capital. So 5 lakhs equity shares of 10 each. So 10 rupees as a nominal face value. Issued only 2 lakhs equity shares. Only 2 lakhs equity shares. So 5 lakhs is authorized share capital. So they issued only the less than authorized share capital only. So 2 lakhs equity shares. Payable 3 on application, then rupees 2 on allotment, thereafter rupees 3 on first call, and finally rupees 2 on second and final call. These are the structure of the share unit. Thereafter, the amount due on allotment was duly received. Here, no confusion. Here, no question of pro rata. Simply because as a issued capital is less than our authorized share capital. Okay. So then the applications they not mention anything. Whatever the application is not like that. So simply given the 2 lakhs shares. How many applied there? Just whatever they issued, the entire amount due on allotment was duly received. Here no question of pro rata and other things. No over subscription and no under subscription. Okay. So on the first call being made, one shareholder holding around 6,000 equity shares paid second and final call when along with first call. So whenever first call made, so what happened? One particular shareholder having 6,000 equity shares, they paid in advance for second and final call. At the time of even first call itself, whenever they calling for first call itself, they paid for second call also. That was the first information. Thereafter, while shareholders with a total of holding of 10,000 equity shares. So what happened here? 10,000 equity shares failed. So failed to pay the first call. So that means what? Naturally calls in arrears. The 10,000 equity shares failed to pay the first call. Whenever the first call being made, what happened? 10,000 equity shares failed to pay first call on their equity shares. Okay. So company did not demand the final call. So here the up to the discussion is up to final first call. In the first call, what happened? 6,000 equity shares paid in advance. They even paid second call also. At the time of first call made, the 6,000 equity shares, they paid second call also. Thereafter, one of the 10,000 equity shares, they failed to pay first call. So this is coming under calls in advance. This one coming under calls in arrears. Now let's see how we are going to work out this particular problem. It combined of the effect, how we are going to give the accounting treatment of calls in arrears and calls in advance. Okay, now let's see the problem here. We are going to discuss for the accounting entries for Karnataka Coal Limited. Now let's see the problem about this discussion. So there are 2 questions they asked. One is past journal entries to record the transaction. Second one is how to disclose in the balance sheet. So that was the 2 questions arised for this problem. So before that, as we know, we collect the information from this sum. So first one, authorized capital 5 lakhs as a nominal value of 10 rupees. And how much issued? 2 lakhs shares, number of shares. So this 5 lakhs shares. This is issued capital is 2 lakh shares. So what is the application? 3 rupees. Thereafter share allotment 2 rupees. Then first call 3 rupees. Second and final call 2 rupees. Totally 10 rupees. Thereafter the remaining information, as you know, the calls in advance, that was even at the time of first call itself, some shareholders, there is number of shareholders, 6,000 shares, they paid in advance for the second call. But later on, whenever the first call due, what happened? The 10,000 shareholders, they default about first call. So these are the information collected from the problem. So you have to write likewise for the information. Then only you can easily record the transaction and without any doubt, and we never miss the information. Okay. Then we are going to start the format in the books of Karnataka Coal Limited, as you know, as a date, particulars, ledger folio, debit and credit. Okay. Now we are going to start the transaction one by one. As you know, what is first one? So first one, application. Correct. So how much they issued to this 2 lakhs. So naturally, what is the entry? So bank account data. So bank account data. So bracket how much? 2 lakhs. How much application received? This 3 rupees. Okay. So 3 rupees into 3 rupees. So we know 6 lakhs. Then to share application. Okay, share application account how much? 6 lakhs. So narration, very very important. As you know, how you have to write being application money received for how many shares? 2 lakh shares. 2 lakh shares at the rate of 3 rupees per each. Okay. So that's what the first entry, as you know very well, as a bank account data of 6 lakhs to share application, equity share application 6 lakhs. So the bracket you have to mention. So that's why very easy you can identify the amount. Okay. So better idea, in the bracket you have to show 2 lakhs issued shares into 3 rupees. Okay. So 6 lakhs. What is second entry? Now second entry, we are going to transfer entire share application to share capital account. Okay. So share application account, data 6 lakhs to share capital account, or you can write even equity share capital account. Equity share capital account. How much? 6 lakhs. So narration, application, paying, share application, transfer to application, transfer to share capital account. Okay. So second journal entry you know very well. So whatever the application here, the entire money transferred to equity share capital account. No question of refund, no pro rata basis. Okay. Then move for the third one. What is third one? Third, this one, allotment. Okay, allotment due. Okay, so what is the entry? As you know, share allotment account. Share allotment account. Data. How much? You know, 2 lakhs, correct? 2 lakhs issued capital into, what is our allotment? 2 rupees. Okay, so 2 rupees. So, how much you will get it? 4 lakhs. Correct. So, share allotment, here no question of pro rata basis. Whatever share capital to issue of 2 lakhs, entire we are going to allot. Okay, so 4 lakhs. Okay, to equity share capital account. Share capital account. So 4 lakhs. So what is the narration as you know being share allotment due. Share allotment due. So we want to know how much money we expect from through share allotment. So as you know 4 lakhs. Here no question of share allotment due. So entire money received. What is the fourth one? Whatever bank account data, bank account Data, how much entire 4 lakhs received. So 4 lakhs to share allotment account. This one. Share allotment account. Okay. So 4 lakhs. So what is the narration? Narration, you know, being share allotment money received. Correct. Share allotment money received. Okay. So that's what first entry, share application. Second one, transfer to share capital account. Third one, share allotment due. Fourth one, we got share allotment money, received share allotment money, entire money. Now the fifth entry. See here the fifth entry. Okay. So what is the fifth entry here? Now the fifth entry is what? First call due entry. Okay. So what is the first call due? As you know, what is the entry? Share first call. See, share first call account. Data. How much? This is the share first call. Okay, 3 rupees. So suppose how much you have to receive? 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs into 3 rupees, right? You are supposed to receive 6 lakhs. 2 lakhs into 3, 2 equity, share capital account 6 lakhs. Okay. So what is the narration? Narration being share first call due. Okay. So that's what our share first call due into 15. Now we are going to see whether we received an entire 6 lakhs or any default, like any calls and arrears. So here only the two information are going to incorporate. Now let's see the next one, 6th entry. Okay. The 6th entry, just I will click it here. Okay, as I said first call, you have to receive 6 lakhs. But simultaneously, even some of the shares, 6,000 shares, they even paid second call also, now itself. Okay. Now how we are going to treat the entries. Okay. So bank account we don't know. We have to just open it. Okay. Just to now see the entries first. Okay. So how much you received actually. So now see the first one, the entry is what? First, as you know, equity, see, first you have to transfer, correct, to equity, share capital, equity, share first call, right, share first call, equity share first call, equity share first call. Equity share first call account. How much are supposed to receive? See, you are supposed to receive 6 lakhs. Okay. So I am going to write it here. Credit side 6 lakhs. Okay. Then here the 10,000 shares, they are calls in arrears for first call. Okay. So here I am going to write, that's what, calls in arrear. First call. How much? This 2 rupees, correct? So how many? Second first call. This one 3 rupees, not this one. Second call. Okay. So here see the first call due, the 10,000 shares, they not take paid. It's a default about this 10,000 shares. So naturally it is calls in arrears. How? See 10,000 into 3 rupees as a calls in arrears. We want to show in a debit side. 30,000. Okay. Thereafter, when you called for first call, some of the shares they paid in second call also. Okay, that's what? 2 equity share second call account. How much? 6,000. They paid now itself, these 2 rupees, correct? 6,000 into 2. So how much? 12,000. So totally here how much it will come? Suppose. So actually how much you received here? Exactly you have to receive how much? Here if you total it 30,000, you have to total, see the debits and credit. Here 6,12,000. Okay. So how much you have to receive? You have to receive how much? Only the whatever this 12,000. So 10,000 unable to receive. Correct. This bank, I will give the working notes here. So only you have to receive 1,90,000. Correct. 1,90,000. See 1,90,000. Because this 10,000 is first call is due. That's what we will mentioned here. So naturally how much you have to receive here? 3 rupees. Okay, how much it will come? So 0, 0, 0, 0, 9 to 3 are 7, 2. So 5,70,000, correct? 5,70,000. Thereafter this 12,000. At the time of first call itself, 5,82,000. At the time of first call itself, they paid second call also. That's what I mentioned here. I classify equity share second call. Okay. So nothing but what? This is we have to show what? Even though it is share, equity share second call. So I want to show here calls in advance. Now you can understand very clearly. So first you want to know that that's what I mentioned. So now you have to write what? Calls in advance. At the time of first call, they are given second call also. So calls in advance account. How much? This 12,000. Now totally how much you received? 5,82,000. How? Whatever this one, totally only instead of 2 lakhs, only 1,90,000 as only they paid first call. So 3 rupees. 5,70,000. Then this 12,000 they paid in advance. Totally how much? 5,82,000. Once now total it, you will get both sides 6,12,000. Correct? The total debit side and credit side verify. So here you can write it. So as this 30,000 is what? 30,000 is calls in arrears. This 12,000 is calls in advance. Now you understood. At the time of first call made, 10,000 shareholders they not yet paid for first call. That's why I want to show the calls in arrears account. Calls in arrears account. Okay, record. Thereafter, at the time of first call itself, they given some of the shares, 6,000 shares, this one, 6,000 shares into 2 rupees. Okay, 12,000. They paid outside the time of first call. Some of the 6,000 shareholders pay second call also. That's why I want to show as a calls in advance account. Now understood. So actually how much share equity share first call 6 lakh, but received only how much? 5,82,000. This 5,82,000 inclusive of our first call, then second call of calls in advance. That's why the 5,82,000. The 30,000 as a calls in arrears account, 30,000 here. Credit side calls in advance 12,000. Now understood? That's what our first call made. Now let's move for here as a problem according to what they said. Up to first call we have to discuss. Okay. Suppose second call, same manner we have to do. At the time of second call, we are going to adjust this. Okay. So here this problem, they said up to first call, what are the journal entries transaction. Actually here, this entry is very, very important. Okay. Same entry, how you are going to give effort. Calls in arrears account. Or what you will do, even if you don't want to show this calls in arrears account 30,000, here you have to make it only, suppose I don't want to show it here. So just I don't want to show it here. So what will happen here? Naturally, this become only 5,70,000 only. Correct? This become only 5,70,000. So equity share first call, I want to show only 5,70,000. Suppose I don't want to show any calls in arrears account. Only the bank account, 5,82,000. Thereafter equity first call, 5,70,000. Thereafter calls in advance account 12,000. Okay. So either way we can show. So here just I am clean. Just so for understanding purpose, again I will make it 6 lakhs. Okay. So we want to show as exact clarification as a calls and arrears 30,000 debit side not yet paid. So actually sir, first call how much supposed to receive? 6 lakh. But received only how much? 5 lakh 82. This 5 lakh 82 inclusive of the second call also. That's what this problem is very important. How to record calls and arrears and calls in advance account. Now let's see how the effect of the disclosure in balance sheet. Now see, we are going to discuss now how the effect of balance sheet. Let's see now. Now let's see how we are going to prepare a balance sheet of Karnataka Coal Limited. So we have to draw the balance sheet format as you know. The balance sheet of Karnataka Coal Limited as on maybe 31st March, what of the year. We have to draw particulars, note number, amount. Okay. So I have to write amount. Okay. Thereafter, no stock accounts. So here, equity and liabilities, under that, you know the very important heading is what? Shareholders fund. So under the shareholders fund only, we are going to disclose share capital as a note number 1. Now let's see how we are going to write note to accounts as a note number 1. Explanation as a share capital. As we know, first one is what? Authorized share capital. Authorized share capital. Okay. So as you know how much, as authorized share capital, as you know how much, it's a 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs shares of rupees 10 each. So naturally how much? It is coming under 50 lakhs as a authorized share capital. Okay. So 50 lakhs. We have to put double underline. Next one, we are going to show issued capital, correct? So suppose how much are issued, it is coming under issued share capital, issued capital. Issued capital. How much? As you know, 2 lakhs shares of rupees 10 each. So naturally 2 lakhs into 10, 20 lakhs. Double underline. So that's what our second classification. First one is authorized capital. First one is authorized capital. No need of share. Authorized capital. Okay, so authorized capital. Second classification, issued capital. Let's say 5 lakhs at the rate of 10 each, 50 lakhs. So thereafter, issued capital 2 lakhs shares of 10 each, 20 lakh. Then third one here, as a another next one is for subscribed capital. Correct. So under the subscribed capital, it's a very important one. Subscribed capital, there are two classifications. One is subscribed capital and fully paid up. Second one is subscribed capital but not fully paid up. Here, we are going to discuss subscribed capital, subscribed but not fully paid up. Why? Because the first call, they have default, correct? 10,000 shares, they not yet paid for first call money. That's why it is coming under subscribed but not fully paid up. Now let's see how we are going to discuss. As you know, 2 lakhs equity shares of how much? 10 each. Of 10 each. That's how much called up? Application, allotment, first call. Okay. As application, 3 rupees. Thereafter, how much allotment? As you know how much allotment is? Application 3 rupees. Application 3 allotment is 2 rupees. Okay, 2 rupees. Then first call is 3 rupees. Only up to this only we call. So 3 plus 2, 5 plus 3, 8. So 2 rupees the last final call. Last and final call, not yet call. That's why you have to write under subscribed capital, subscribed but not fully paid up. Under that, 2 lakhs equity shares of 10 each. Okay, called up how much? Called up only 8 rupees. Up to this application, allotment, first call. Okay, so only that money only we called up. Naturally, how much it will come? Suppose to receive how much? 2 lakh into 8, put inner column 16 lakhs. But what happened? That 16 lakhs, the 10,000 shares, the first call due shareholder. Okay, so we have to write out. So less So you have to write less what? Calls in arrears. So less calls in arrears. How much? The 10,000 shares, correct? 10,000 into which one? This 3 rupees. Okay, so 30,000. So naturally, outside column, you have to write how much? 15 lakh 70,000. That's what? 15 lakh 70,000. You have to put double underline. That's what here your share capital. Subscribed but not fully paid up. 2 lakhs equity shares of 10 each. But called up only 8. That's why you have to consider 2 lakh 28, 16 lakhs supposed to receive. But unfortunately, what will happen? So calls and arrears of first call due how much? 10,000 shares at the rate of 3 rupees as the first call. Okay, 30,000 is a calls and arrears. So the balance is coming under 15 lakh 70,000. The 15 lakh 70,000. I'm going to write it here. Now understood. That's what the work of our notes to accounts. As a note number 1, explanation 15 lakh 70,000. Okay, then thereafter, what is our note number 2? As you know, current liabilities. Under that, as a current liabilities, second heading. Under that, what is the other current liabilities? As you know, note number 2. Okay, other current liabilities. So what it will come? You know that is called calls in advance, correct? So calls in advance. Calls in advance. As you know, the 6,000 shareholders, they paid in advance for the second and final call, 2 rupees, correct? This is second and final call, 2 rupees, okay, into 2, that 12,000, okay, that's what our, this 12,000 coming under other current liabilities, note number 2, which one? That is calls in advance account 12,000. So I have to write 12,000 here. Okay. Thereafter, you know, as a assets side, as a total, how much? 15 lakh 82,000. So as your current assets, you know what is our cash and cash equivalents? You have to write note number 3, you have to write cash and cash equivalents. Cash and cash equivalents. Okay. How much you have to write? Cash at bank, correct? Received through bank. How much? Cash at bank. How you know? Just we have to explain it here. So how we will got it for equation? As in the application, how much received? 6 lakhs at the rate of 2 lakhs, correct? So 2 lakhs as application received 6 lakhs. 2 lakhs into 3 rupees as application 6 lakhs. Similarly again 2 lakhs as allotment 4 lakhs. Okay. Thereafter, you know, the first call received money only 15 lakh 82,000 inclusive of your calls in advance. Okay. So that you know 5 lakh 82,000. The third one. The total all will get it how much? That's what your 15 lakh 82,000. Okay, so 15 82,000. So explanation and give it here. How you got it? That's what of cash at bank, 15 lakhs 82,000. This is for application received money. This is for allotment. This is for share first call. The total all, suppose you open bank account, very easily. So how much? That's what your cash and cash equivalents. Cash at bank, 15 lakh 82,000. You understood? So total naturally here, asset side total. Here also, how much? 15 lakh 82,000. 15 lakh 82,000. Our liability side also 15 lakh 82,000. Here we called up only 8 rupees only, very important. We not yet called for second and final call. Okay. So till that, how the balance sheet will appear? It's very, very important. As a calls in arrears, we want to show where? Here. Under subscribed but not fully paid up. So we want to show here exactly less calls in advance and calls in arrears. Thereafter, here calls in arrears how much? 30,000. Thereafter, calls in advance, we want to show under other current liabilities. Okay, it's very important one. So other current liabilities. Under that, we want to show calls in advance, the 12,000. That's what note number 2, you have to write current liabilities. Under that, other current liabilities, this is a note number 2. Okay, this one. It's very important. So note number 2, 12,000 calls in advance. You can write it here, but you want to show notes advance also. If calls in arrears, you want to deduct from subscribed. That's why it is called subscribed, but not fully paid up. Only the 8 rupees only called up. Correct? That's what very, very important one. During the under the year. Subscribed and fully paid up, here no question of calls in arrears. That's why here you have to write subscribed but not fully paid up. Under that, you have to show less calls in arrears account. Okay, say calls in arrears 30,000. That's what the disclosure of balance sheet based upon your calls in arrears and calls paid in advance is very, very important. Okay, you should know how to disclose the two information in balance sheet. Okay, now going to see now. So what is the now going to discuss the difference between calls in arrears and calls in advance. Okay, so I hope that now you understood the balance sheet very well. Now let's see the difference between calls in advance and calls in arrears. It's a very important one. Then only you can able to identify. So here the first one is the meaning. So what is the meaning of calls in arrears? So it is the amount called up by the company, but not paid by the shareholders. So this word is very important. But not paid by the shareholders according to calls in arrears. Coming for the calls in advance, as a calls in advance is the amount not called up. See the word here. Here called up, here not called up, but by the company. Calls in advance is the amount not called up by the company, but paid by the shareholder. You understood? What is the meaning of calls in arrears and calls in advance? The first important difference. Here, company called up, but not paid by the shareholders. That's why it is called calls in arrears. Here, company not called up, but paid by the shareholder. That's why it is called calls in advance. The first, the meaning of the calls in arrears and calls in advance. Second one, interest. Yes, as a interest is charged on calls in arrears. Is any default of shareholders, company going to charge interest. So interest the company will charge. It's income of the company. But here, interest is allowed on calls in advance. Here a shareholder will enjoy because he paid in advance. Naturally, he get some interest from the company. Here company has to charge. Here company has to pay to the shareholders. That's what the important meaning here, difference. Third one, rate of interest. So what is the rate of interest? According to calls in arrears, as per the table F, what they mentioned of the Companies Act 2013, so interest is charged by 10% per annum. Here, company going to charge 10% for the default shareholder whenever for calls in arrears. You know the difference between due date and payment date. During that period, company going to charge calls in arrears. How much? 10% per annum. Similarly here, coming for calls in advance, see here, as a calls in advance, same as per table F of the Companies Act 2013, Interest is paid at 12% per annum. Here, company has to pay the interest. The company charge at 10%. Here, who will receive here? The person who paid in advance for the particular shareholder, they will enjoy the 12% interest from the company per annum. Okay, that's what here 10% according to calls in arrears, then 12% for calls in advance account. Here, shareholder will enjoy. They will get the interest. Here, the company will going to get the income because company going to charge because of calls in arrears for the default of the first call or second call of the shareholder. Okay, that's what we were. Third one, rate of interest, very, very important. And fourth one, authority under articles of association. Okay, it's a very important one. Authority under articles of association. What is that? So, I'd say articles of association does not have any clause to this effect as non-payment is beyond the company's control. Okay. So here they not mention anything according to who is the authority under articles of association. Here that's what they say. The articles of association does not have any clause for this effect as non-payment is beyond the company's control. At the same time, the calls in advance, the company may accept calls in advance. Yes, company can accept calls in advance only if its articles of association authorizes to do so. Okay, that's what the main differences here. Okay, here does not have any authorized, but here company can authorize. Company means what? The articles of association. So what is the meaning of articles of association? You know, it's internal affairs of the company, management by the company. Okay, that's what the fourth important difference. So who is the authority? Whether the authority under article of association here does not authorize here as a calls in advance, articles of association can authorize. And finally, it's very important, how the disclosure, how you are going to show in calls in arrears, as you know very well. So it is shown by way of deduction. We are going to deduct from where? From subsidiary capital. That to where? Subscribed but not fully paid up. Under that, in the note on share capital in the balance sheet. Correct. It's very important. Under the subsidiary capital, you are going to do the further classification what? Subscribed but not fully paid up. Under that, you are going to deduct this calls in arrears. Similarly, as a calls in advance, you know very well, it is shown as a separate item where other current liabilities, correct? Other current liabilities, under current liabilities. The current liabilities is the main head, other current liabilities is subhead. Under that, you want to show as a calls in advance. So calls in arrears, you are going to deduct from subscribed but not fully paid up. Under that, you are going to show, understood, as a disclosure of what calls in arrears and calls in advance in a balance sheet. Okay. So I hope that now you can be able to understand what is the meaning of calls in arrears and calls in advance. Thereafter, how you are going to do the effect of the accounting treatment or the calls in arrears and calls in advance. That's what you worked out one problem here. Through way, you already learned how the entry has to pass. When you have to open calls in arrears or not open. Already discussed in the previous session. The opening of calls in arrears, how you are going to give the effect. Suppose you not open the calls in arrears, how you are going to give the effect. Two-way, open, not open, in calls in arrears. Okay. Thereafter, finally, today we discussed one problem through that. You hope that you can be able to do the calls in arrears and calls in advance for the single problem. Thereafter, finally, it's very, very important difference between as a calls in arrears and calls in advance based upon 5 factors according to meaning, thereafter interest, then rate of interest, and authority under articles of association, final disclosure under balance sheet, how you are going to give effect in calls in arrears and calls in advance. Okay, I hope that accordingly you have to work out the problems in our NCERT. Okay, so thank you very much.